Phoenix is the 5th largest city in the nation, and it is the only state capital with over 1 million people. Today I want to go over the cost of living in the Phoenix area. Let's get started. Hello everybody, Kristi Isais here. I am the new construction realtor here in the Phoenix metro area. If you enjoy getting this information and you enjoy getting notified of future videos, please do not forget to hit subscribe and the notification button to be notified of all future drops. So I'm gonna break it down a little bit. I'm gonna go in cost of living, taxes, transportation, all of those things, right? So when we start looking at this, let's start with rent. Phoenix is, again, very sporadic and spot-like, but in an overall general sector, you can probably expect a 1-bedroom apartment to rent anywhere from $1,000, and that's even getting really difficult, up to $1,600 per month, depending upon where in the city you're going to be renting that apartment. You rent in, a 3-bedroom apartment, you're looking at, honestly, if you're looking in the center of the city, you're gonna spend well over $2,000 a month to $2,200 a month. That's the reality right now. Our rents have gone atrociously high. So 1-bedroom, $1,000 to $1,600, 3-bedroom, $2,200 plus a month in the center of the city. Now, if you're looking in the outskirts, it's a little bit more affordable, but again, our rental prices have gone through the roof too. So with outside the city, an average, you're paying about $1,000 to $1,300 a month for a 1-bedroom, and in the outskirts, a 3-bedroom, you're looking at, $1,600 plus, and that's even a stretch to get yourself into a rental property. But that again is why it's actually advantageous to buy instead of rent in the Phoenix area. We'll get to that point here in a second. But if you're looking at, again, from New York to LA, rent from New York to here is 63% cheaper, and from LA to here, 49% cheaper. So still, we are winning in the cost of living, sector. Now, if you look at the rental increase from last year to this year, like I said, it's gotten a little atrocious. We've had about an 8 to 10% gain in rental prices in the last year. So that can kind of tell you what's been going on here. As far as buying, right, if you're looking at buying a property here, over the last 12 months, and of course this is 2020, we've had a crazy year here, our values on average are up 12.5% from last year. So again, that's an average. It can be a little less or a little bit more depending upon where in the valley you're at. But we have had the highest July gain we've ever had. So we're continuing to climb in pricing, but still, with that said, the average home price in the Phoenix area is $302,500, and that's an updated number this year. So still, right around $300,000 for average price point of a home. It's actually not bad. If you are looking for, again, like I said, I do a lot of new construction properties. I can still get families into new construction homes, essentially out on the outskirts, for the low 200s. Now, they're not as plentiful as they once were, but it still is possible. So low 200s on the outskirts. Obviously, the closer you are to the city, the more that price goes up. But when you're looking at, finding center city, a 3-bedroom, 2-bath home, it's almost impossible to get anything under $300,000 right now. And if you do, typically it's a home that might need a little bit of work or isn't exactly what you want. So just keep that in mind when you're looking at properties. So that kind of goes over the buy side. Average home price, $302,000. Wonderful gain in value if you were to look at buying here or investing here. That's definitely a great thing. Now, looking at utilities. Utilities here on average, let's say you have a 900 square foot apartment, you're gonna average $120 to $280 a month. That's winter to summer. Obviously the summer months are higher because you're running your air conditioning 24/7. My house is a new construction home, about 2,500 square feet, and my winter electric bill is only about $70 a month. My summer electric bill is about $300 per month. Now, I have 2 kids. You know how that goes. They never shut the lights off, things like that. But that is my property. Now, if you're looking at other utilities such as cable, you're gonna pay an average of $100 per month. Most people don't even get cable here. A lot of us will get your internet service, which is anywhere from $75 to $100 per month, and then just do your streaming services, Netflix, Hulu, Roku, things like that, to save on costs. So far as utilities, we're not bad. Obviously the summer months you kind of need to budget a little bit higher because the air conditioning costs to keep your house cool. Now we've got two different electric companies here. We have APS and SRP, and they do have programs where they kind of will average out the entire year, and they'll just charge you the same amount every month. So sometimes that's easier for people to be able to budget, you know, and not have to worry about the high months and the low months. So keep that in mind. Taxes. Let's move into taxes. Taxes here are phenomenally low. And so income taxes here are anywhere from 2.5% to about 4.5%. Super, super low. Our city sales tax is a little bit higher. We average about 8.5%. Now that's valley-wide. It can be lower in some cities and higher in others, but about 8.5% is an average for city tax here. Our property taxes, again, are really low. So we average about 0.68%. So under 0.7% valley-wide is an average for property taxes. Again, phenomenally low, which is another perk to living here. We pay really low taxes. So taxes are a perk. Now let's move into gas, right? I mean, you've got to understand that Phoenix is not so much of a walkable city. We're more of a drivable city, and that's just part of living here. You're gonna drive a lot. The only places that are really walkable is, you know, your downtown areas, Arcadia, Old Town Scottsdale, Roosevelt Row Arts District, things like that. But in the general scheme of things, we are so spread out that you gotta drive everywhere. So gas prices right now, I actually just gassed up today and it was $2.27 a gallon. But they've been averaging $2.25 to $2.40 per gallon for unleaded per gallon. So that, again, I had a client move from Hawaii and he was all excited. He's like, I'll buy everybody's gas. He's paying like $6 a gallon. So that's your gas. Let's move into some of like the really important stuff, right? So if you've got a child and you need childcare, you're looking at an average of $750 to $1,000 a month for full-time, full-day childcare for somebody. And another big thing, and I've talked about this in past videos, schooling here, public schools, some are hit or miss. You may not want to do it, but if you're looking at you know, alternate options, charter schools are $0, but they have a private school feel. But if you're going to put your kids into a private school, you've got private schools here ranging anywhere from like $5,000 a year up to $15,000 a year if you're looking at a private school option. So that's something to keep in mind about if you're thinking of moving here. And yeah, so I'm gonna move into some of the funner stuff because I think that that's important for everybody to know too. So let's talk gym memberships. Gym memberships here average from $10 per month for one person up to $150 per month for one person. We have some great gyms like EOS, Anytime Fitness, things like that, they're about $10 a month. But then you can move into higher end places like, you know, Mountainside Fitness, Lifetime Fitness, LA Fitness, and then up to like your CrossFit gyms and your specialty gyms. And those are typically the higher price point of more of like the $150 per month for like your higher end CrossFit gyms. So yeah, keep that in mind depending upon your fitness level if that's interesting to you. $10 to $150 a month. Restaurants here, you can expect your average fast food meal to be about $7.50 a meal. But when you're looking at restaurant wise, I would say honestly, you're looking at an average of about $12 a plate, anywhere from $8 to $20. You know, pretty average. You go to a higher end place, you're looking at $40 to $80 per plate. So about $60 on average per plate for a higher end restaurant. And coffee. Who doesn't love coffee? God, I have to have my coffee every day. Regular coffee, if you go out, $2 to $3 for a cup of coffee. If you're gonna go out to like a Starbucks or something. Now, if you want your lattes, which I love, you're looking at $4.50 to $5.50 for a latte. Moving into groceries, yeah, your average loaf of bread is like $2.28. You got eggs at $2 a dozen, milk at like $2.71 a gallon. Apples, $1.50 a pound, bananas 70 cents a pound. So honestly, our groceries are pretty relatively low. And again, not so bad for especially everything encompassing on what we've got to offer. You want to go out to the movies, you're looking at about $12 a ticket, but go to Costco, you can get them for like $8 per ticket. And now, if you're looking at, you know, the growth, I know that there's been a lot of craziness in 2020, and, you know, people are worried about, you know, the housing market and the job growth and, you know, all that kind of thing. I did some research and I was looking at some things. So since 2019, our job growth has been about 2.6 to 3% in job growth. And we've had a lot of industry moving here in the last, you know, 6 to 8 months. So I expect to see that number even jump pretty drastically in the next 12 months. Our largest industries here are going to be healthcare, definitely. We have Mayo Clinic here, which is one of the best healthcare facilities in the world. We have that here. We have technology and manufacturing are huge here. We've got big tech companies. We also have a lot of banking and finance companies here. So if you're in any of those industries, it's definitely a great place to live because you're going to get paid, you know, very well for doing those jobs. And you couple that with the cost of living, and it's actually pretty good. So median income in the Phoenix metro, again, is just under $58,000 a year, and people live a wonderful life. But that's pretty much, you know, the skinny on all of that stuff. I mean, if you've got any additional questions, like you guys know, I'm always an open book. But if you're looking at, again, recapping from the East Coast, you're across the board about 34% less if you're looking at New York. West Coast, you're looking at LA, we're about 20% less across the board for cost of living here. So in some cases, like I actually moved from San Diego, California about 6 years ago, and, you know, essentially picked up my pay from California and brought it here and had lower cost of living, which of course resulted in a higher quality of life. So if you guys have any other questions, like I said, I'm always an open book. I'm always here to answer anybody's questions or concerns. Feel free to reach out. You'll see my contact information below. And don't forget, I've got other videos. Feel free to watch them. But anyways, guys, always a pleasure. Everyone have a wonderful day. I look forward to seeing and talking to you.